The next video that I'm going to show you is basically the equivalent of chat. It's embedded in Microsoft Teams, so it's really easy to get to. You can just click on this Copilot function when you're in Teams, and it automatically comes up with some tabs that you can use. What's new? Get the gist, and you can attach a file. You can draft an FAQ based on a file. So it gives you some ideas, and actually there are lots more ideas as well that you can access, and you can actually personalize this by viewing those prompts. So what I'm going to show you today is three things. I'm quite simply going to summarize my diary for the week so that you can see how the integration with Outlook works and how nicely it pulls that together. I'm then going to create some marketing content to just show you how easy it can do that and how we can change it once it's produced its sort of initial document. And then I'm going to ask it to summarize a document as well. There's lots more it can do, but I'm just going to demo those three ideas for you today. First is looking at summarizing my diary for next week. And it's as simple as putting in summarise my diary for next week. So this will be accessing my Outlook diary, and it will be having a look at what I've got scheduled over the next week. It's following that process we showed you earlier, making sure that I've got permissions to access my diary. And then it's coming back to tell me exactly what I've got scheduled. I find this really handy with a mixture of on-site meetings and Teams meetings. I tend to do this at the beginning of most weeks and then at the end of most weeks so that I make sure that I've got my preparation. So this is really nice. It goes through, it tells me exactly what I've got in the diary, what times they're scheduled for, and who else is in the meeting with me as well. It's a really quick win, but I find that really handy. So the second thing that I'm going to show you is how you can create content really easily. So in this instance, I'm going to ask it to create a blog on cyber security. And then when you're ready, it's just as easy as coming over and pressing send. And it will follow that process that we showed you in the video earlier. So it will be looking at the internet, your Microsoft Graph and the large language model, and it will start to generate that content. In this instance, that looks really kind of sensible, and that's exactly the type of information that will help me create a blog for Corbel that will be educational for our clients. But you can come down here and it makes some suggestions that you can use to add more content to your blog. So let's add more information about the type of cyber threats. So it will take that original information and then it will start to add more content into it. When you're finished, you have actually got the ability to copy that information. So if you wanted to put it into a Word or you wanted to put it into a WordPress site, you can very easily copy it out. You can also, to help with learning, come through and actually rate your information, whether you like it or whether you don't. And that will really help Copilot understand the type of things that you are after. So you can take that as far as you want, but what I would say is prior to Copilot, I'd sort of targeted myself with writing one blog a week for Corbel, and that took around about an hour and a half, 2 hours every week, and it still would take a little bit of time to personalise this and get the heart of Corbel into it, but it would give me a nice framework to get started. So the third thing that I'm going to show you is how easily it can summarise a document as well. So whilst I was using Copilot, I prepared a document for the internal team, and I've done a couple of user enablement sessions, just really on what my experience has been, sort of good and bad. And so I'm going to ask it to summarise the document that I pulled together for the team. What you can do here is you can pull through all specific people, files, meetings, or emails, and use exactly the same process. But in this instance, we're going to select a file, and it's going to be what my experience was with Microsoft Copilot. And when you're ready, again, you just come across and press the prompt. So what it will do there is fairly succinctly is summarise my document to say that I did find it useful and innovative, and I do believe there's some opportunity for Corbel and our customers. But there were a couple of challenges as well around sort of initial setup, and just me sort of getting to grips with the tool. So yeah, that is my example really of how you can take a fairly long-winded document and get it summarised nice and succinctly. You can again use the tabs if you want to get more information, but in this instance, I've got out of it sort of what I needed.